Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host, Tom Downey, back today with a 4-pack of Cowboys Rumors. Let's begin with, look, there's more Dak Prescott talk because, well, yeah, for good reason, right? Are there salary cap issues for paying Dak? 1 star on this one. There are salary cap issues if the Cowboys choose to allow them to be. And I'll explain why that's the case here. The Cowboys right now projected about $20 million in cap space, depending on what sites you're using and what they're projecting the cap because we don't know yet, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, that is not enough for a Dak Prescott deal or a franchise tag. However, it is actually very easy for the Dallas Cowboys to create up to $60 million in cap space just like that. It is super easy, everyone, to create cap space if you want to do so. Now, there are some, I'm going to say minor downsides to that, which we'll break down. But first, let's take a look at how the Cowboys can make that happen. Number 1, simply restructure contracts. And that's done by taking a player's base salary and converting it into a signing bonus. So the player gets their base salary immediately. You got to leave some base salary to be paid the vet minimum. But by doing that, you take it from a base salary, so it's only paid this year, into a signing bonus where it's paid out over up to 5 years, or the lifetime of the contract if it's less than 5 years. So Amari Cooper, you save $14 million. DeMarcus Lawrence, $11 million. Zach Martin, $7 million, along with Zeke Elliott. The problem there, and why you might not want to do it for all of these guys, is it does kick the can down the road, and if you want to move on from them in the near future, that's not something you actually want to do. Tyron Smith, Leo Collins, meanwhile, $6 million. You could cut Jalen Smith and save $7.2 million. You could cut the punter already and save $2 million. Just like that, guys, you've made $60 million in cap space for this upcoming year. It's very easy to create. Now, it does kick the can down the road, and that's only a problem if you want to move on from a player in the near future. So maybe you don't want to do it with a Zeke Elliott. Maybe we're about it becoming too expensive for a DeMarcus Lawrence, but the cap's going to jump in the near future. Here's what I'm saying, folks. Having cap space be the reason why, we can't do any one individual deal, that's a really bad excuse. Frankly, it's a lie to any fan out there. Now, at some point, yes, from a macro perspective, there is a salary cap. You can't pay every single player. I get that. But on individual bases, you can find a way to make it work. The Cowboys have been reluctant to do so. I wonder if because they're still feeling the after effects of doing that with Tony Romo, and then he got hurt. So there are some potential negative problems, but welcome to life in the NFL. Cap space is never the only reason behind, we couldn't get a deal done. If anyone tells you that, they are lying to you. Now, if you guys are tired of the Dak Prescott talk, and I get it, and you just want the Cowboys to pay Dak so we can all move on and have a top 10, top 5, top whatever quarterback on the team, I want you guys to like today's video. Let's go to a possible free agent target. How about Richard Sherman to the Dallas Cowboys? 2 stars on this one. It's possible, and actually comes from comments made by Richard Sherman on his PFF podcast. Now, Sherman offered a pretty significant amount of praise for new Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, who of course Sherman knows from their time together in Seattle. And we all know the Cowboys are, I'm going to use the phrase, in the market for cornerback help. You might say desperately in need of cornerback help. Either one works there. I do wonder if the match is going to end up happening. Before we get to that, though, I do want to mention what Sherman had to say about Dan Quinn, saying he's a great leader of men. That's why I got the job as a head coach. And as the coordinator, he's going to do a great job of bringing the best out of these guys. He is a great motivator. He's obviously very technical. We had our 2 best years with him back in Seattle, and it was consistent. I think he's one of the best defensive minds in the game. A lot of the times, it's just knowing the guy's strengths and just playing towards them. He won't put guys out of positions and ask them to do something crazy. Now, from time to time, you're going to put guys where they're uncomfortable just to make the defense work, but for the most part, he's going to put guys in the best possible position. I think that those are good things to hear about your defensive coordinator. I really do. And I hope you guys are out there being safe, something the Cowboys could use, a safety. Get it? Producer Brett did not. Producer Brett gave it to him, but he's not amused at all. Head over to chatsports.com/CowboysMask, and you guys can get a Cowboys face covering for up to 75% off. I'll put that link in the comments and in the description, so all you guys got to do is click and go shop today. They are available at chatsports.com/CowboysMask. Tons of variety, tons of styles, up to 75% off. Now, Sherman might like Dan Quinn. I wonder if Sherman is the same guy he was in spring. Now, we've all doubted him once before when he signed with the Niners, and that deal was an incredible boost for San Francisco. His numbers per Pro Football Reference that you just saw were not great before he got hurt, but I do think he can be at least a number 2 corner for you as a veteran presence alongside Trevon Diggs, someone who knows the Dan Quinn defense can help install, because Sherman's a very, very smart guy. I'm actually very intrigued by that potential fit. I do wonder how Richard Sherman feels about Jerry Jones, and in the end, I wonder if there is a team that can offer the same amount of money as Sherman and be better, or a worse team that can offer him way more money, like the Jets, for example. But if I'm the Cowboys, and although they love to take vacations as, free agency begins, I would strongly look at Richard Sherman. So get your votes in here. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So you get the ad break, scroll on down, get your votes in. Do you want to sign Richard Sherman? Type Y for yes, or type in N for no. That's a cornerback. Now a defensive tackle. How about Gerald McCoy? Back to the Cowboys. 2 stars on this one. And we've mentioned this a couple different times, but there was an update from the Dallas Cowboys website that says, if he's healthy, probably. The Cowboys, as we know, still looking for an impact defensive tackle. That was supposed to be Gerald McCoy last year. It did not work out that way. Stephen Jones has kind of implied they were going to try and bring back McCoy, who, of course, they cut to save some money, as his contract allowed them to do. I just wonder about the health. If he's in shape, if he's on the rehab path correctly, and he's going to be back to the Gerald McCoy we all hoped that he was going to get, yes, bring him back on probably a 1-year deal. I also cannot assume that a reunion with Gerald McCoy just fixes all my issues. He's 32 years old now. Yes, he fits what I think the Cowboys are going to do under Dan Quinn on defense. He also didn't play last year. He's coming off the injury. He was already kind of declining anyway. He was no longer prime McCoy, and that's okay. He's in his early 30s. That's how the NFL works, right? So if he's healthy and cheap, yes, I'm on board. Do I think that solves all of my issues? No. I think you still got to look at other options both in the draft and in free agency. But as it only relates to Gerald McCoy, what do you guys want to do? Type in 1 for yes, you want to bring him back, or type in 0 for no, you don't. You kind of want to pass on that one. Now, as news breaks this year for the Dallas Cowboys, I will let you guys know what's going on. So if you want to stay updated and aren't going to fall for Sports Talk Barry tweets, subscribe, youtube.com/CowboysTV. Don't miss out on any video we put out. We've got them coming every single day, and sometimes even multiple times a day as well. All right, let's go to this one. I almost reset the nonsense meter, but I was feeling nice today. Trading away Zeke Elliott? No, fake news. I know you guys keep asking, and it keeps coming up when publications like Fansided suggest it. Doesn't actually make sense for 2 main reasons here. Now, I know that Zeke's numbers, they were not the same this year, and you're like, oh, we could save money, get a draft pick from Tony Pollard. It's not that simple. Fansided pitched this under 2 reasons. You can save money and get a good draft pick back. It is impossible to do both of these things this season for the Cowboys. And frankly, you might not be able to pull off either. So number 1, the money side of it. If you were to trade Zeke Elliott for whatever draft pick in time for the 2021 NFL Draft, you would take on an extra $1.2 million on his cap hit this year. He's already making $13.7 million based on the cap this year. So you add on the 1.2, you're paying him almost $15 million to not play for you this year. So you're not actually going to be able to save money. Now, you could save some money down the road. The new team would take on the remaining 6 years of his contract at almost $75 million. In reality, the first 2 years of that deal for Elliott, with the way his base salary has a rolling guarantee structure, is 2 years, $12 million. Those are guaranteed, and then the last 4 years of cap hits at around $11 million, then ballooning to almost over 15. Those are non-guaranteed. Now you could trade Zeke after June 1st, and you would save almost $10 million. Add some dead money in 2022, but it's fine. You're saving money right now. But at that contract, $22 million guaranteed on a 6-year deal for almost $75 million. I'm genuinely asking, what NFL team would trade a good draft pick for Zeke Elliott? And, I'll offer good as in, like, you're getting a top 75 pick back because you got to go spend the pick on a back as well. So you're making a net negative in terms of the back on the roster and not actually saving money. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You can't say Bill O'Brien, he's out of the NFL. So seriously, what team is going to offer a good draft pick for Zeke right now? I don't think that there's any of them. In all seriousness, I don't think that there are. Because why would you pay a premium for a guy who averaged 4 yards a carry last year? And I get it. The O-line was not as good. It was banged up. The quarterback play was not as good as well. But that's the whole point, right? Is that running backs are easier to replace and very dependent on the situation around them. In the end, why this is fake news? You can't get both cap help and a pick via a Zeke trade. You could get a pick of some type right now for 2021, but you're not going to get any cap help. You could get cap help by making him a post-June 1st trade, but you're not going to get a pick to help you out right now, and you can't use that money until after June 1st anyway. So if you were rebuilding and blowing it up, yes, I would consider trading away Zeke Elliott. The rest of the Cowboys moves say, no, we're not going to. Therefore, I don't think it makes a lot of sense right now. Maybe in a year or two, it'll make a lot more sense, but a cut might be the most likely case anyway. But a trade, simply not going to happen this offseason.